judge you by your results. And so you may think that we love you. No, it's because we are seeing results. The day the results vanishes, we are going to start criticizing you. That's how the world is. So have this inner peace. Decide that you are going to, first of all, settle yourself from within. It is very important. And I always say that in this first stage of clarity of vision, this is a sober reflection moment. Sometimes you don't have to discuss it with anybody. Just sit down with yourself and think. And this is something I love to do a lot. Sometimes I love to just be with myself and just think about my life. And when someone asks me that, what are you doing? So I was thinking, like, it's a moment to think. Many of us, we don't do that. We are too busy. We are too occupied. We don't really have time for ourselves. No. You should literally have a calendar where you dedicate some days that these are days for thinking. These are thinking days. I'm not going to answer any call from anyone. I'm going to be thinking. You are not going to be worrying. So you are not thinking that, or you are not in the moment of worrying that is leading you to think. No, you are having a sober reflection of your life to take stock of what you have done, what you plan to do, and how you see yourself in the way forward. So when you go through this activity, the next thing that you need to do is to write down your goals in details. Write down your goals in details. Yes. Many of us, we have the passion for something, but the moment we start the journey, we don't write the details, so we forget. Look, forgetfulness is part of life. And as humans, it is something that makes us humans. You can easily forget. As a matter of fact, even the Bible says that God is not a man that he should forget. So write down your vision. Write down the details of that which you want to achieve. Let's say you want to become a medical doctor. I can tell you for a fact that your mentality and the principles you live by is stronger than the grades you get. Yes. I know people who finished with third class and they are now doing their PhDs. And I know people who finished with third class and they don't know what their life is even about. So if you can engage the right principles, you are more likely to succeed. Yes. So write down your vision. Write down the things that you want to achieve. Write down the things that is keeping you motivated. I mean, intrinsic motivation, inner motivation. This has got nothing to do with anyone, but it's got everything to do with you. Write them down. Very important. Yes. So let me give you an example. Let's say your goal is to be rich. Okay. Instead of writing, I want to be rich, you would rather say, I want to build an online business generating £5,000 per month within 2 years. That is what we call detailed. A detailed account of your vision. If you want to travel, which part of Europe or the world do you want to travel? And if you travel, what do you want to do? What are the channels you believe are likely to help you travel? You need to write them down. But most of the time, when we want to achieve something, we just move with the immediate spark and we just keep moving without having any strategic plan on how to execute that. And that is very dangerous because you are more likely to miss the details that will keep you on track. Yes. So these things are important. They are very, very important. I remember when I said to myself that I want to do my master's outside of Ghana. Look, I didn't have any mother or father to pay my school fees. Then I had to write down the ways or the possible ways or means I could do my master's outside. So I did a lot of scholarship, review, and then I found some key scholarships that I felt could make a difference. Then I did enough digging. Then I realized that, okay, these scholarships are full funding scholarships, and so they could help me. Then because I had written down my strategy, I knew what I wanted. So if I speak with someone and the person say, oh, there's this scholarship, the first question is it full funding? They will say, no, the school will pay half, and I'll be like, look, this is not my conversation. I was so determined that this is the path, this is the detail that is going to lead me to my destination. I'm not going to allow any other information to confuse me. You see, there are things successful people know that sometimes we take for granted, but they are the engine for every vision you have. Oh, I want to be a millionaire. That is too vague. You need to be strategic. Through what channel are you going to be a millionaire? Do you think money is going to rain from the skies for you to receive to make a difference in your life? It's never going to be. Thanks, Dr. Collins. Yeah. Clarity of purpose keeps you focused and keeps you on track. Yes. So all these things that I'm sharing, if you can work with it, there is so much you can achieve. That vision you think is impossible, it is just in your eyes. You want to become rich, that is too vague. I want to be a millionaire, that's too vague. I want to make, no, write it. So I gave you an example. If you want to be rich, don't say, I want to, be rich. That's too vague. You need to say, look, I want to build an online business. Through what channel do you want to be rich? Because obviously there are different ways to be rich. Some of them leads to distraction. Some of them too leads to elevation. So you need to be aware, what are your strengths? What are the areas through which you are going to become that rich? So if it is online business, okay, I have come to realize that by doing online business, I can increase my income. This is the amount of money I can make in a month if I should work so hard towards that. Okay, then I want to be rich. I want to be worth thousands of dollars. I want to be worth $1 million. The target is that I am going to make a profit of £5,000 every month within a space of 2 years. That is a clear vision. If you like, do your research. Most of the celebrities in Ghana, they are being sustained by businesses you would never imagine. Some celebrities have Kalawele business. And they are running it so strong and they are making a lot of money. Kalawele. You would say, oh, what amount of money can you make from Kalawele? You have no idea. But you see, they have sat down and detailed their plan. So they know that this venture can bring so much. That is how it works. Yesterday, one man shared a story and he said that he was selling MTN card, scratch card, and he was earning 1 cedi from every 100 Ghana cedis sale. But he said he could sell over 1 billion Ghana cedis, that's 100,000 Ghana cedis in a month. And he had over 1,000 Ghana cedis as profit. Yeah. So many young people complain there is unemployment and you tell them, oh, sell something, start a business venture. What skills do you have? Learn a trade. They make you feel like their degree has become worthless. But of course, if your degree was worth something, you wouldn't end up in this mess. So these are things you need to understand. Some of the job that you are relegating, some of the ideas that maybe God keeps bringing to you, but you don't pay attention to. If you can sit down to really have a detailed strategic plan, you'd realize that in the space of 2 years, you can even buy a land. You can even start building your own project. I know a lady who started a business and she was selling these wigs. Okay, woman like wigs. She was a teacher, but then that was her side business. So she would buy hair, different type of hair, and she would buy wigs and she'll be selling them. And she was telling me that by the time she's no longer in Ghana, she's come to the UK, and she said by the time she was leaving in the space of a year, she has been able to buy a land and build a foundation. So she was literally going to build her house. The same GS teachers are complaining that they don't have money. People are doing things on the side and they are seeing results. But you see, it doesn't just come by the business idea. It comes by having a very strategic plan. A plan that is executable. Line upon line, precept upon precept, things that you are going to be building one after the other to be able to get to that destination. Now, when you write your vision, there is something you need to do that is so powerful. I can tell you for a fact. Look, I've read several success books and they still point to this fact, and that is visualization. Look, this is one thing that people who are spiritual and people who are even not spiritual agree on. Visualization. Can you see yourself in that place? Can you see yourself becoming that rich? Can you see yourself excelling in that business? Can you see yourself in that house? Can you see yourself in that car? Can you visualize it? Look, if you can't visualize it, then please forget. This point is very important under the clarity of vision. You need to be able to visualize it. Look, there were times I would sit and imagine myself in the UK, but I've never traveled before. I would visualize myself like, okay, like I'm in the UK, I'm in the university, and I'm in the classroom, and I was in Ghana. I could visualize it so much that I felt I'm definitely going to travel. You see, one thing about visualization is that the moment you begin to visualize yourself in that vision and in that dream, the place you want to be, the moment you engage in this so strong, you get to a point where you are so confident. When you get to that confidence level, that is when you have really keyed into the materialization level. This thing applies spiritually and even psychologically. You see, a psychologist was talking about this phenomenon, and he said most of the time, the reason why trauma affects people so much is that they are painful experiences. And so most of the time, people who have experienced with trauma are more likely to encounter barriers further in life because they visualize their trauma every time. And he said, but people who have had beautiful experiences are more likely to overcome barriers because you see, they visualize the successes they've enjoyed and they keep on succeeding. If you like tell a rich person's child that they are going to be poor, they will laugh at you. Do you know why? They will tell you, I can't be poor because my father is rich. Well, we can debate on this to say, well, he's trusting in his father's riches. But don't forget, that is also shaping the wiring of his mind. So the rich child's son believes that he can never be poor. So that picture becomes so strong to the extent that it begins to happen. Yes. Let's look at our former president, Nana Akufo-Addo. When he was young, he was told he was going to be president. So he had never given up. He would come and he would fail, and he would come and he would fail, he would fail, he would come again. He was so determined to become a president. And did that happen? It happened. So please, you may not have any beautiful experience. Maybe, I remember our physics master used to tell us that anytime he was with his siblings, like they were like 7 in a room. So the elder brother would sleep in the couch. So before the elder brother comes to sleep, he needs to move the couch forward a bit so that he can sleep at the back. So if the elder brother goes out and delays, he would have to sit and wait, because if he doesn't know and he sleeps in the couch, he's going to be beaten. And if he doesn't take care and his elder brother comes and wake him up, that means he's not going to be able to sleep. So he has to wait for his elder brother. And on the other side, anytime he goes out, he needs to make sure he returns so early, because if he comes and his elder brother was asleep, that means that he wouldn't get any place to sleep. Yeah, Kennedy Japan, he's so determined. You see, why is it that the rich people are able to see themselves in certain positions? Because don't forget, their riches give them memories. It gives them the ability to visualize themselves. But I'm speaking to people who have no experience of that sort. There is one tool. Create your own success. Create your own success. Visualize it. Maybe you've never used an iPhone. You can start with menial things. Just an iPhone. Start with, something that is not too ambitious that your faith can't get. But start with small things. Visualize it. See yourself there. Maybe you are applying for a job. Sit down and see yourself in the chair. See yourself in that place of authority. Kissy, I'm not talking about politics here. I'm talking about principles. And whilst our politicians may not be good examples for society, there are some principles that work through. And I'm talking about the principles that we need to work with for our own lives. So yes, politicians may not really be good examples, but look, they are determined though. They are determined. So the place you want to be, visualize yourself there. And if there is no previous history or experience with anything of that sort, create some. You can literally sit in your chair and picture yourself in that car and picture yourself in that house. The more you engage in this activity, you will get to a certain level, and that is the level where you become so confident in that thing. Meanwhile, there is no physical thing you can touch to say this is the reason why I'm confident, but you speak so boldly. Why? Because that thing that you began to visualize and think about has formed in you, and the moment that is formed in you, it becomes your reality. So people may not agree, but that is your reality, and you need your reality to achieve your vision. Yes. So visualization is very powerful. There is something that athletes do. People who are athletes, there is something that they do, and it's part of their training. They go through imagination. And this imagination is they imagine winning before they step on the field. So they are trained to imagine themselves receiving the gold medal. They are trained to imagine themselves receiving the silver medals. So even before they start the race, there's a certain level of confidence they have. And it is so grounded on that experience through visualization. So to be able to have clarity of vision, These are some of the things that you need to have. Now, the next thing about clarity of vision is that you need to break your vision into small, achievable steps. Yes. So you see why most of us, we are not able to see the things we dream of. It is because we have not been engaging in the principles that enable success. So, number one, under the clarity of vision, I said that you need to be able to define what success means to you. It is very, very important. Number two, you need to write down your goal in detail. Write it down in detail. Yes. And then number three, you need to visualize it. Visualize it. See yourself there. It is very important. It is very important. You see, God told Joshua, he said, you see, this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth. In Joshua chapter 6, and he says, thou shalt meditate upon it day and night. He says that it shall not depart out of your mouth. You meditate upon it day and night. Then thou shalt have good success. So just by meditating, just by visualizing, just by thinking, just by imagining, you can create success for yourself. It is very important. Then the next one, which is number 4, is that break your vision into small, achievable steps. And I underline the word achievable. You see, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. If you have never started a business, you shouldn't set a target that you are going to make £5,000 in a month. You just started a business. You have no experience in business. Why are you setting so much great ambitions for yourself? You are going to disappoint yourself. Break them down into small, achievable steps. Maybe you want to be rich. Your target is to be able to earn £5,000 in a month in your business. Maybe at the starting point, you need to target £10. That I want to make £10 every month. Then when you hit that target, you expand it. I want to make £50 every month. When you hit that target, you expand it. Okay, I want to make £100 every month. I want to make 200. I want to make 500. I want to make 800. Then I would make 1,000. Then I'll make 2,000. Then I can aim for 5,000. But you see, many of us, our achievable steps are tied to the achievement of other people. Oh, my friend is making 4,000. Why can't I make 4,000? Do you know what they are doing to make the 4,000? And I think this thing has really ate into the young people, especially in Africa and Ghana especially. Now, when a lady sees that another lady has got a Brazilian hair, they will say, this lady, I'm even beautiful than her. Why can't I get it? But do you know how she got it? We only look at the results, but we don't ask ourselves, how did the person arrive at the results? And sometimes the moment you begin to ask certain questions, they'll say, oh, don't judge me. It is not necessarily about being judgmental. It is more about understanding to make an informed decision. The first will be that came shouldn't make you feel that I was someone so that came. When him kind of first car, but then ubetima start small no druho. Obiane na hoden. Everyone has got their strength. But you see, everyone can get to their own destination in time. Yes. So ask yourself, how can I get to my destination? I need to break down my ambition into small, achievable steps, small, achievable targets. So, for example, if your goal is to become a doctor, you can't wake up to become a doctor just like that. No. You need to start with the first step. Maybe I need to excel in school. I need to excel in science subjects, because that is the pathway to become a medical doctor. So if you want to become a medical doctor, you need to do well in your science courses. So by setting some of these targets, that is when you can say you are on track to become the person that you have always wanted to be. That is how it works. I hope you are writing some things down and you're going to have a setup to really evaluate your life in this regard. Break down your vision into small, achievable steps. You see, the advantage with clarity is that it eliminates confusion and keep you focused. It eliminates confusion. Many people are confused. It's like the ambition that they have, they themselves, they don't even understand it. And so it's even hard for them to convince other people about it. But if you can follow these steps that I've outlined with you, that I've shared with you, and go by them, you are going to see massive difference. You'd realize that, oh, this thing that is overwhelming you is not really that overwhelming. You probably just need time to sit up. And these things, we are not trained in our schools. No lecturer will come and sit down to teach you how to achieve your vision. They will paint the picture to you and they will take the bridge away. So how do you get to that destination? You need some of this information to really help you to rethink. I remember when I was in SHS, I said I wanted to become a medical doctor. I was so ambitious to be a medical doctor. Then when I finished SHS and I was home, I realized that anytime I see blood, I wasn't comfortable. So one day I told myself, look, I'm really interested in this, but I have to let go of the vision because I am not comfortable with blood. I was very honest with myself and I told myself, you know what? That is not the end of the road. Maybe there are other things that I can be interested in. Look, let me tell you, people tried to bully me for that decision. There were people that I told them, oh, I'm really interested in doing medicine, so I'm exploring places I can go to do medicine, etc. blah, blah, blah. When I said I've changed my mind, they said, oh, he has failed. He didn't pass. He didn't pass. You see, all these people, they start with ambitions and when they don't pass, they change their plans. We live in a society where people will bully you for your own decisions. Meanwhile, you are responsible for your life. Yes. They say, oh, he has failed. He didn't even perform in his exam. Probably he failed. You see, he has been exposed. Yes. But I said, look, at the end of the day, it is my life. I'm not going to become for you. I'm becoming for myself. Then I chose a path for my own self. These same people who were mocking and laughing at me, now they are praising me. They wish that I would even pick a phone to call them. You see, that is how the world works. Don't let anybody bully you out of your destiny. Don't allow it. Yeah, Paulina, you share in my sentiment, isn't it? Yeah, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Some of you, you've done courses in the university. You know that there is no passion behind it. Humble yourself and change. Tell yourself it is okay. People will laugh at you. It's fine. I can imagine what people will say. Oh, she can't study nursing. She's not serious. We have wasted our school fees. They will say all sorts of things about you. But you see, when you are depressed, these people will still be the same people to accuse you. That look, she's this, but she's nothing. Yes, be bold. Take decisions that will bring you inner peace. The last time I shared a story about the medical doctor, it's even on my page. This guy finished the medical school as the best student in his class, as it were, the year group in the medical school. Brilliant guy. Everyone looked up to him. So it was graduation time, and this guy was asked to give a speech because he was the best student graduating. He won most of the awards for the medical students or in the medical school. So this guy mounted the stage and he started crying. That is, well, people thought, tears of joy. Obviously, this guy has labored so hard. He's worked so hard. It's not easy going through the medical school. So people understood that, well, it's fine. But then they realized that the guy was crying beyond normal tears of joy. So they got quite suspicious of something. So the chair of the event called him aside and said, "What is wrong?" And this guy was crying bitterly. So they literally had to take him out of the stage to calm him down and ask him, "What is wrong? Overall best student. Everybody wished to be like you. Why are you crying?" Then he came back and he mounted the stage and he said, "Thank you all for the applause. Thank you all for the recognition. I have become a medical doctor for my parents, but not for myself." And people were like, "What? Overall best student?" He said, "Yes, I wanted to become a rapper." Can you imagine? This guy wanted to become like Sarkodie. And the parents said that, "No, go to the medical school. Our child can't become this." And so he has become a medical doctor for his parents, but he himself is not happy. And the place was quiet. This is what is happening to many of us. There are many people who are nurses. They have no compassion for patients because it is never their ambition. They have been forced into it. There is an error I've even identified in Ghana, especially if someone finishes school and the person finishes with maybe 8 A's or, a very good grade. The first recommendation, go to the medical school, go and do engineering, go and do this. But who said being the best student is tied to becoming a doctor? There are some people, they have no compassion. They can watch you die and nothing will touch them. If they don't receive their salary, they can turn off the machine. They can turn off the oxygen. You see, there are some professions, it's tied to many values. Yeah, you see, Paulina. Yeah, you see, your dad is a doctor, so he said, "Go and do nursing." And that is how our system has been. But you see, there may be some values inside of you that you may find, but sometimes you would lack the support from the people close to you to help you achieve it. Yeah. There are many people, they are living the dreams of their parents. They are never living the dreams for themselves. And you see, the reason why many teachers, people don't really care about the well-being of people, like, it is because sometimes it's just that they have been forced into it all. People who are genuinely called into certain professions, you can literally feel the energy out of their work, the comportment, the excitement, the willingness, even when they are not paid, they do it out of love. So please, you need to go back to the drawing board to ask yourself, what do I really want to achieve in this life? Paulina, your story is really interesting. Maybe get in touch with me, okay? I'll interview you one of these days and we will talk about these things. These are things that many people are going through. Many people are going through it. Your parents will force you and push things on you. And it's like you have no say. It's very sad. Dr. Collins, this is so sad. But you see, as a society, sometimes I understand. You see, if you are in Africa, one of the things that happens is that the first thing people talk about when we are talking about career is job security. Do something that will give you a job. But sometimes I ask myself, is that all life we have? Or is that all that life is about? So please, you need to be ready to fight for that goal, ambition, dream God has placed inside of you. And you see, sometimes we are not even able to debate our arguments with our parents because we don't even have clarity for the vision that we have. So if you can work with these templates that I'm sharing with you, you can literally put yourself together to get things in place to improve how you are perceived. Yeah. I shared my story. Look, I wanted to be a doctor, but I said, look, I'm afraid of blood. I can't become a medical doctor. People were laughing at me. They said, oh, this guy didn't pass his exam. And he's now trying to convince us that he doesn't want to do medicine. They were all laughing at me. But now they wish to even receive a call from me. I'm still a doctor. I'm a doctor now, but I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a PhD holder. And I enjoy the field of work that I'm doing. I'm still promoting the health of people, just that I'm not in the medical field. All right, so, oh, of course, I did pass, Kisi. I did pass, don't worry, I did pass. I'm not a brilliant guy. I'm just trying my best to survive, so don't worry. But such is life. Yes. You need to have these principles in place. Okay, so as I said, number one, still under the clarity of vision. Before I start to allow others to come in and speak, today it's not going to be long, so let me just touch again on the principles under the clarity of vision. The next time we meet, we look at number 2, the second principle for success. So as I said, under the clarity of vision, you need to define what success means to you. It is very important. Maybe success to you is being able to build a 3-bedroom house. Look, don't let someone tell you that your vision is small. As long as that is defined by you, that is going to be the fuel in your car to get you to where you want to be. Do you understand? Yes. Number 2, very important. Get the first one. Define what success means to you. Don't go and pick someone's idea. Work with your own. It is important. Number 2, write down your goal down. Write it down in detail. Don't say I want to be rich. Say I want to build an online business that will generate £5,000 per month in 2 years. That is a clear vision. You have already highlighted the field, the area, the medium through which you can make that money. And then the next one is visualize your vision. If you want to travel, see yourself there. You should take a moment to just see yourself in your destination. Look, when I got to the UK and I had a meeting with the head of my public health. So the first time I came to the UK was to do my master's in public health. So when I came, first time traveling out of Ghana, third time traveling out of Kumasi. I got there and the man picked my personal statement. And then he said, do you know why we chose you? I said, no. And he said, well, we had over 300 applications and all of them were qualified. we had to go through a very strenuous process to select one person because the funding was just for one person. And I said, what? 300? And he said, yes. So they were able to break the list down, reduce it to 5. And that 5, it was so hard to select one person. So what they did was that they took it to the pro vice chancellor. Imagine the scholarship committee couldn't choose from that 5. They took it to the pro vice chancellor. I was shocked. I was shocked. Because you see, that scholarship, as a matter of fact, if you don't get first class, forget it. So I knew that obviously the 300, most of them would have first class because they lay it very clear that it is based on academic excellence. Then he said they sent it to the pro vice chancellor for the pro vice chancellor to select one person out of the 5. And then he said they chose me. So I was like, how? You see, I would attribute everything to my spiritual belief in God, that God is able to pick one from the dunghill and set him among princes. But then I also worked with the principle of visualization. I would spend time sitting and just see myself in the university. Even though I've never been there, I would go to the university's website. I would look at the university's buildings, their compound, the environment, and sit and visualize myself there. I would place myself there. So at some point, I wouldn't, I can say I would be there with so much confidence. I was so confident. At that time, I was leading a church. I could stand in front of the church and tell them that, look, a year by this time, I'll be in the UK. It's not like I'm prophesying, This thing has become so real to me. Look, visualization is so powerful. If you want to start a business, don't just start. Sit down, visualize it. See yourself there. See yourself there. You said you want to make money. Take a picture of that money on your phone. Use it as your wallpaper and just be watching it. You may think it's stupid. Science has proven it. It works. It works. Even athletes, before they go for running, they are trained to see themselves as winners. They will visualize themselves with a medal. Sometimes they will even be given, they call it is it a mock-up, or they will give them something like the medal, and they will ask them to close their eyes and just be feeling the medal. They should just imagine the medal is around their neck. They should imagine that they are standing on the tallest place, receiving their flowers and receiving their medals. Look, many of us, you don't know these things, but I'm telling you, and the Bible accounts to it, the world also accounts to it, science approves it, and you, who are you to disprove it? God told Joshua, he says, meditate day and night. Meditate on this day and night. Some of you think just having ambition is enough. No. There is the real work. Dedicating time to see yourself in that place. Yeah. And the day you become so confident that you are there, nothing can stop you. I'm telling you, nothing except yourself. Yes. At some point, I could say that there is nothing that I desire that I can't have. And people would say, oh, you are, look, please brag. Brag with wisdom. Don't say things you don't have. Say things that you want to have. Do you get what I mean? So, for example, if you want to be rich, say, I am rich, or, the Bible says, let the weak say I'm poor. Let the weak say I'm strong. Let the poor say I'm weak. It is not just confession. It is a principle. It is a principle to achieve. Look, I don't know how many interviews you guys have attended, right? But every interview, if you've been to several interviews, you'll notice a pattern. And that pattern is that, or if you are trained on how to respond to job interviews, you are told that answer questions as if you are in the role. maybe you didn't hear what I said. I think most of us probably, we've not gone through training of preparing for interview. But if you've been through training of preparing for interview, if I am expert interviewers, they pick people, especially when they are ties, they pick people by their level of confidence. So you'll be asked, why did you apply for this job? Or they will give you a scenario. What would you do if two of your colleagues are fighting? And you respond, oh, if I'm selected and I'm there, see, that's good to know. Law of attraction and manifestation. Yeah. So let's say you respond and say, oh, if I get the job, when I see that two of my friends are fighting, what I will do, or what I can do is that I can do this, I can do that. You have failed. You should respond as if I'm there. So you will respond, oh, I wouldn't allow my colleagues to fight. I'm there. I would separate them. I would ask them to, I will, not I can. So the moment you use can, you are behind the door and you are knocking. But if you say will, then it means that you are in. Yes. Yeah. So these are principles that even in techniques of job application and things you need to know. You are applying for a job in a bank and you go with a t-shirt. You are not going to get the job. It is not because your grade is not good. You can't see yourself there. Yes. Look, as I said, the purpose of all these things that I'm saying is to provide information that can really help people change their lives. Because they've worked for me, and I believe that there are many people that need to get some of this information. Look, during my PhD interview, I was in Ghana. And that interview was a global scholarship. So there were people around the world that were applying. And it was a full funded scholarship. So the competition would be great. I went for the interview. At that time, ECG, you can imagine, doom saw all over. And the place was so hot. Like, the room was so hot. Then I was like, how do I dress? Because I will be sweating. I said, look, I need to dress smart. I put on my tie, I put on my jacket, and I wore my shorts. Obviously, I was sitting, so they wouldn't see that I'm wearing shorts. And then I had a fan here. I had 2 handkerchiefs, face towels, and I was facing them. Did the interview and everything. Then fast forward, I got a scholarship, came to the UK and everything. So I met the chair for that interview. And then the chair made a comment. That was the first time I was meeting him. But obviously, he was also going to be in the same office that I was going to be in. And he saw me and said, oh, Sam, smart guy. And he said, do you know that you were the only person who dressed smart for that interview? And I said, whoa. He said, yes, we saw you in your tie. This is like 5 months after the interview. He could remember my dress code. So you may say, oh, it doesn't matter. Look, visualize yourself there. By the time I was going for the interview, I was imagining myself as a lecturer. Even though I'm going to do a PhD, I was imagining myself as a lecturer. And the moment I started, I was invited to teach on master's modules and to supervise master's students, even from my first year. Some of us, we think it's just by academic excellence. No, there are some principles you must apply. You see, they say this, you dress the way you want to be addressed. And it is so true. Clarity of vision must affect you. If the vision is not having an impact on you, do you think it will have an impact on anybody? If you are not excited or moved by your vision, do you think someone will be moved by it? You are selling a product, you dress anyhow, you present yourself anyhow. When you are selling the thing, your head is down, you are not even confident. I always tell people, if you are selling something or you want to convince someone, ask yourself, if you were that person, would you be convinced? You need to have a certain disposition. Do you understand? These things are not taught in school, but you need to know. Yes. It's not always about connections. Look, connections is one of the beautiful things that you can have in your life. If you have connections, if you have people who can give you leverage to get certain opportunities, look, it is one of the best things you can have. But what if you don't have any connection? Are you going to sit down to blame the system and keep complaining? You'll be 25, you'll be 40, you'll be 50. You need to be smart. Any opportunity you get, be on top of it. Look, in the interview, I was sweating. there is something that one of my mentors used to say. He said, I was sweating like a pregnant fish. Imagine a fish sweating in water and is pregnant. How can you even see the sweat? I was sweating like a pregnant fish. I would wipe my face, but I never lose the tie. Because I was very disciplined to say, look, I need to get this thing. Yes, so sometimes some of us, we work so hard, but we are not engaging the right principles, and it looks like hard work is not working for us. It is because hard work is just one of the pillars needed. There are so much more you need. So these things you need to know. Nobody's coming to save you. Please, the first principle I had in my mentality was that nobody was coming to deliver me. So if there was a book I had to read, I am supposed to read. If there's an information I need to outsource, I need to outsource it. If there's a research I need to do, I need to do it. Nobody's going to do it for me. That has always been my mentality. Nobody's coming to save you. Look, if you are thinking there is a Messiah coming, maybe I'm the only Messiah you are going to have. Nobody cares about you that much. You see, these are all things you should be aware. Look, the lecturer teaching you will not even be happy if you come to look for employment under him. That is the reality. Like, that is how serious the matter is. You know, we had this mentality. I remember when I was doing my first degree, you see, I always try to use my story to tell you some of these realities. There are things that I've lived by and they work. When I was doing my national service, there was this head of department who would drive to my house to pick me, first degree, pick me, and I would come to his office around 12 a.m. to work on his publication papers for him. And then he would send me back by 3 a.m. Right at the 3 a.m. when he drops me, I will start searching and looking for scholarships. Like, I will not sleep. Some of us, we are not moved by the vision. I think it's nice to have a vision, but it ends there. I realized that, look, at that time, maybe I should tell you my condition. At that time, my service was about to end. I didn't have a job. I didn't know what I was doing. And I was also in charge of a church. I didn't know what, like, I was literally asked to move to Kumasi. I didn't have money to pay for rent. I was so frustrated. At that point in my life, I couldn't tell what was going to happen even in the next 3 months. So the moment I realized that my only way was to get a scholarship, look, I was not resting. I was not resting at all. Some of you, you just pray and you sleep. You are funny. Do you know the number of people praying to God about the same thing? I grew so lean. People will see me and like, hey, now did he? I was like, and you see, I felt that, look, there were people I trusted. There were people I felt that, oh, me service here, metimako. Minipa we hone na kasa metimanya kakra. They must save na me de aka honan kam de akwaje dan. Look, nipa na me kon ho no osi ni fie o. Osi teku ne sempoampo ni bi. Osi oni tey for me. He had nothing for me. I was shocked and I was so disappointed. I found a place and the woman said that we should come and view the place. So I went with the person. Everything was nice. And the person said that I should pay a deposit of 1,000 Ghana cedis then they will reserve the room for me. I'm so okay. I had 800 cedis. I needed 200 cedis to pay that money. Many pay me catch me say, oh Charlie, me need 200 cedis. So, but that time I was sending this guy my mom for some cotton cement. Hey, and when I'm who say, look, nobody is going to save you. That day it became my mantra. Time, many minyamina now. Till today, that day, hey, mommy say, oh, 4,000 to her. Me so dear mommy 200. Me the I would pay you back. I say, oh, me need 200. Ni pension na tia case kama ya kwa head and you. So need 200 cedis. Then I had to travel back to where I was doing my national service. And I told the woman that, okay, I am going to just give me, I think at that time, National Service was going to pay us our last but one payment. So I told the woman that give me just 2, I think it was around 6 days for the government to pay us for the National Service then, so that at least I can get that money and go and pay the woman. So I told the woman, please give me 6 days. And she said, okay, I'm going to give you 6 days. National Service can be to man and me dim call bank on me cause G's cano me frame I no see or the dynamo be. Ooh, me frame I no say or the dynamo be. Oh, you're very sorry. Meanwhile, I was within the 6 days. Oh, like time I'm sharing, no, I was in that same time. The woman had given the house to someone else. I was so disappointed and I felt so helpless. I called this friend or colleague of mine to tell him that the woman has given the house out. He said, oh, mama no anya crowd. Na say yes ani another kind. Hey, nipa na who knew in Canada. This person was like the woman. He started blaming the woman. Meanwhile, you could have just given me 200 cedis. I would pay you back. He said no. The woman didn't. The woman didn't try at all. And I said, wow. Look, I was so frustrated. At that time, I didn't know what to do. So the next day, I was just on my bed, meditating, thinking about my life. Then I was called by my senior pastor that at that time, one of our church members, he had a funeral. So I was to lead the congregation to the event. Charlie, me raho, but obey day. And I went to get a taxi. Then I was in the taxi. Then I saw a notification, beep, beep, on my phone. Strangely, I was so astonished. Like, I was like, what notification is this? Because come on, notification there. Mekobia, congratulations, you have been selected for blah blah scholar. Hey, that I will never forget that moment. Just say, me who there menya wa taxi him. I was shocked. Then, hey, at that time, I felt like a billionaire. After that savings now, me de kwaje dino. Oh, me see free cane. Mama say, Charlie, dey na benom. Hey, dey na pay. Like, I felt so rich instantly. Charlie, my burger. No one email say ba. No mama, me nipa obeli di. Look, I didn't pay even 1 cedi. So I got to the UK. Everything was paid for. Everything. As a matter of fact, even the visa application portal was unique for people with that scholarship. Charlie, when I say, hey, if you don't get serious with your life, nobody is coming for you. Do you know one interesting thing? Do you know the shocker? The shocker is that when I called this friend of mine to tell him that, Charlie, I've gotten a scholarship. Look, this guy gave me money to go to Accra to do everything. Look, he would call me, do you need money? Hey. Charlie, the same person also need 200 cedis, mommy, or need 200 cedis. Oh, mommy, me kwa Accra, oh, send this guy there, Bibiania send it. Oh, send it. Or best send it, Bibia. But you see, that is one thing I've come to realize. You see, I love that, doctor, he says success has many friends. It's true. Entina, me, personally, I choose my friends. You can like me as a friend, that's fine, but I want to choose people who I want to be my friends. Because you see, people would want to be your friends for several reasons. Ambition, vision, business, you're successful. You see, when you were starting, I was the one backing you. Because look, I knew you would make it. I knew you'd be successful. Yes. 200 cedis. No, so only be. He could spend close to 5,000 Ghana. Like, me catches them here laptop. Oh, then I'm here. I should just say it. So wow. Reality. From that day, I'm the same with him. Nobody is coming to save you. Oh, Savishi now, one hour pass away. No, oh, chance will be back as a bro. Do it. Then you're better. You have to be angry and decide that. Look, you see, sometimes don't let life push you to tight corner first. In my situation, when I was doing my service, I was applying for scholarships like crazy. At some point, Mitimiko, you can invest in many account or say time better be account. I don't even know. I was just sending applications like crazy. Because you don't know. You don't know. Nobody's coming to help you. You better help yourself. At that time, me call tonaton, me call laptop, na laptop battery nenye. Na makwa balance. Look, me balancing sir, because I couldn't afford to buy a new laptop. But I was still determined. Charlie, laptop bako uye ne hiti ane edum some HP laptop bi me application medru baby amebe say na edum. But you see, determination. You need to be very determined. You need to understand that look, the elements of this world will favor you if you are very consistent at what you believe in. It is more than even being a Christian. It's a principle for life. That's why the people in the world are able to achieve what they are achieving. They are so determined. Yeah, Dr. Collins, the same template too. It's say, you want to do something. You are waiting for someone to say, oh, you can do it. Look, you wait forever. Nobody's going to support you. Nobody's going to support you. The day you decide that, look, I'm going to support myself. I am my God, I won. We are going to do this thing. The helpers will now locate you. The helpers, they themselves will look for you. Yeah. So, clarity of vision that they are concerned when you know, but I believe that some of you are being blessed by the stories. Understand. Ghana yakase Ghana edeno. Look, no president can change it. Europe yakase Europe edeno. No president or prime minister is going to change it, but you can create your own world in the same system. You can create your own world in the same system. And you see, I say something all the time. Generation we're home. Bebre na essay. Like, a lot of people are not serious. So if you can be serious for a little bit, you can change your life. I'm telling you. If you can be serious for a little bit, do you know the number of ladies that have it in their mind that if they don't find their odogu, they can't make it in life? And the almost ideas because it doesn't align with the stronghold na about omutrimno. But you see, in this generation, let me tell you, all the serious men who want to marry responsible women would look for women who have something doing. And this is an advice to any woman or any young lady who wants to get a good husband. Like you want a serious husband, an ambitious man. Please be ambitious yourself. The men, and I can tell you, that's the way I chose my wife. And I know a lot of people, when we are choosing women, we want women who have something doing. We need to see the virtue practically. You can't come and tell me I want to be a makeup one, but you don't have anything you are doing. No. Everything, we should see the evidence. So evidence, show it. So don't sit there and say that, oh, me dem your benti, I'm cool. Hey. Now, it doesn't work. And if you're a man who cried the other day, you have to do twice. Yes, you have to do twice, because all the ladies have been told that Bema Baba Behel. As for you, you have a lot doing. I personally think that if you're a young person, now won't figure out how you don't need a relationship. You don't. And let me share this story with you. Maybe some of you would benefit from it. When I was in the university, I think in my 4th year, I went on evangelism. So we had started a ministry and the church was outside of the campus. So we would gather to go on evangelism and try to reach out to many people. So I was working. This is an encounter that I had that I'm sharing with you. Take it serious. Then I was working with one of the guys, and then we got to a junction. I said, look, take this route and let me also take this route. So let's just speak to people, try to evangelize, try to get people. So I was working. Then I met a man. Listen to this very carefully. I met a man. Then the man came to me and said, "Come to me." And the place was a bit dark. I couldn't watch the man in the eye. He said, "Come to me." Let me say, oh, sir, at that time, I remember I had 150 cedis and 15 cedis in my pocket. I said, "Come to me." And I said, okay. Mpacho obedi day. I say, "Medi dokno." I'm saying, "Dokno there." And the man stretched his hand or said, "Dokno binesi hano." Can you imagine say, "Metwem was street nim sa me hu so mo ton dokno ho da." That particular day na me hu say mo ton dokno ho. Na papa ne chem say mo ton dokno ho. Na me say, "Eh." And he okoye. O say dokno no person ni nancy 5 cedis. Can you imagine? O person ni nancy 5 cedis o. And he kind. It just said the youth wave so. And or kind of cast the clone penara and no 20 C 5 cedis. And me 5 cedis ne etiaka. And or cast membrano dimi jinan chain. Look, this man told me my past, my family, and then he told me my future. Most of the things I'm seeing today, he said it. I believe I met an angel. I always say it. But then there's something interesting he mentioned. He said, look, don't think about the person you are going to get. At that time, young guy, Charlie, we are sorry, so much pressure, so you are even confused. No, say, look, a man will do anything. Forget. Concentrate on your life. That man, that thing he said came to pass. Because at that time, he decided to say, look, enough of this, I'm focusing on my, and that really helped me to concentrate on my education, concentrate on my passion, concentrate on so many things. Even though I'm not going to say some of the things he said, but that advice helped me a lot. And the interesting thing is that the day I met my wife, I knew she was my wife. It's a young guy, where's he so? Young girl, where's he so? My own brown one focusing on your vision. You are just running around looking here, hey boy, or 6 packs or 2 pack. say one pack or say compact or whatever the pack is. Look, you don't need that. That was what helped me to really concentrate to finish my degree. At Mekoye politics, Mekoye president, me GPA bar form. He has beard, isn't it? At that time, my final year was going to push me back to first class or leave me in second class. So in second class, I be a scholarship kaminya. That advice, me concentrating. Yamfina maybe a call, free night call, nothing. Focus. And I want friend me, and I want text me na my birthday, man. All those nonsense stops. Mr. If you are an ambitious person, understand, you will find the person who has been made for you. I've spoken to a lot of people, young people, ambitious people who are married, and all the time, it is the same story. They knew who they wanted. Yes, on say uni and Kasano are very deceptive. Look, I have so many stories, so gradually I'll be bringing them out bit by bit. Let me tell you something. You see, the place in our lives that holds power is our youth. Okay? I would say, young people pressure, like peer pressure, me manem famisa. Because maybe because of where I come from, me say ma me papa ni bi. Enti no say me kofo bi na okonyima asemaba. So me dey na me so me ho, like I had that perception. And na unim na okonyima obi nso a o school da chi ni na abebo. Say they ba behwe akra. So say me hu say me friends say ya de bi a metimi ka chere mo say chale e fe oba metimi nya bi. Do you understand? So you need to kind of like put yourself inside a certain box and lock yourself in that box for a while. You may look like a fool, of course, but please, it will pay off. It will pay off. The fact is that as a young person, if you don't channel your energy towards something, your body will channel it for you. So I say, your body will channel it for you. And you know, if you're a man or a woman, and I think say most of the challenges of young women is that is Monday to baby and men. Look, it's the devil speaking to your ears. It is never true. It is never true. Get serious at what you are doing. Get serious at your life. Do something with your hands. You will see the men, and important men, or not yanum muntie for no. Yeah, Big Zell, give time some time. I love that. Give time some time. As a relationship, Uko TikTok, sisia relationship conversations. Minimum be ultimate na TikTok sahana relationship matters na relationship. Hey, relationship crowded na. And the funny thing is that you see the blueprint a working mo be na working man. Obiara any relationship say dey sifa. But then if you have principles for your life, look, many young men, if you are to lose everything you have today, do you know how to re-get them? To regain all the things that you lost? Let me tell you, look, women are attracted to success. So when you're successful, until stop chasing them, just chase your success. When the time gets there, and you know, women are visionaries. If a woman see a man with a vision, and look, a man not in the negative sense, but obabet mashwebema we can say we obey successful. See Debbie, and is omo yes single no so the two relationship advice I can see you. You know, yes. Women want high value men. And you see, it is not bad necessarily because women want security. So I tell you, because Oba Fili say, Ebia or what, one a neba, you know, Am I worried about so many things? If you love a lady, the best thing you can do is really develop yourself and build yourself. You can give her that assurance. So what I say, but if you enter this debate of share Bema the emphasica more about the sad debate, and who here? Sama okay Ukrano. But you see, what I'm saying is that please cherish that ambition God has placed inside of you. And as I don't let anybody talk you out of it. Look, I have seen pastors push people out of their destinies. Oh, I have seen parents force people out of their destinies. But you see, there's something that you must know. The only person who knows you is you. I repeat, the only person who knows you is you. If you don't know yourself, it means you have not taken time to really take stock of your life. Then some of you be a enyom to na here. Look, don't let anybody talk you out of it. Find the roadmap that will lead you to that destination. Yeah, you can't manage yourself. Oh. And you see, I can tell you from my experience, say, we a young person, na say, utu enisi ho say, o ambition ahun. The interest in women, the interest in men, those things no, a brass. Because you develop some inner joy and inner fueling. It's like, I'm getting closer to my target. In the time biano, I say like you are moved. So what I say, but young people be bro, ambition zero. And the ambition is zero, dear. Your body will lead you. Charlie gay your fine or your taste. But o condition way, girl no untimi mfa no nkosi baby awa abrabom. Obeha no kwa. Why don't you dedicate time to develop yourself? And sometimes no Odrin say it's like you are the alien among the people. You see? But there is one reality. The people who dedicate themselves to develop themselves and grow, they become the rulers. The people who dedicate themselves and they grow, they become the rulers. So do I need to form an ultimate who opportunities are around you to even seize them? If you are busy chasing women, how can you even see opportunities around you? Yeah, Dr. Collins, one of the saddest things is to live below your abilities or potential. Some of you may be on this life. You may be the future president of Ghana. And I say you may be a future minister. But if you can really pursue that thing you have held on for so much, you will see how your life will turn around. Don't let this narrative of Ghana here, Ghana there. Look, you can create your own empire. You can create your own story. Pascal, thank you for that. Yes. Look, people are not saying these things online because you see, they won't get views. Charlie, guy there, fine boy. Look, me see TikTok, me boss, me see one of the reasons why I like TikTok is because almost say I'm for TikTok does so someone for year. So I want to be part of the few voices that are making people better. Do you know the number of people on TikTok? TikTok is so addictive. Like if you study the algorithm of TikTok, you understand why people love TikTok. TikTok is a platform you're creating in such a way, say, ebe force a man from waba app no so. Now imagine waba app no so ma ba be shia no. Omo can say, look, I know people, then be how to grow your beard. No, spend the bare 4 hours. Echre, beard no, drew her, and ye or so. I'm say, erade. Into grow beard no pa. What would it give you? Because who grow beard na a man who a vibe. But what is a beard without money? A beard without money, they say our emu specs. Look, Oba Obeka say Opel because of beard no. Sa Oba no more. Let me tell you something. You can do your research. Me, I'm a researcher, so I always want to speak with facts, okay? Study the news. You see, sometimes with stories be, I don't know what comes to your mind, but most of the time, it's a story be, the first thing I start to think about is, where is the genesis of this story? Share most of the time, footballers, NBA players, basketball players, all the time. Girls omoko for omoko wari no meja omo no match omeja padim nesi. Do you see the kind of women? Like, and follow a certain pattern. And follow a certain pattern. And follow a certain pattern. And I can tell you, some women so no mabe influencers or more influencing young ladies. I'm gonna be influencers or more influencing young ladies. Now, a man's why a podcast, no more kasa. A man will see a podcast or say, this is what I want in a guy. You need to have beard. You need to look smart. You need to use expensive perfume. You need to do this. You need to do this. And I did with trim into vision and ambition. Rather than so and it's no crowd. But listen, you should be able to see beyond that. Baby. What I say, just fight for what you need to get. There is a destiny, there is a reason why you came. Look, we study biology. Sometimes even the biologists, the scientists, they can't explain some of the natural phenomenon that happens around us. Before a child is born, millions of sperms are released. Doc Kranewahe, he can probably speak better than I am. Right? Millions of sperms are released. Only one fertilizes an egg to become a human being. Do you think you're a biological mistake? Do you think you came just randomly? I'm going to catch a random selection. Look, don't believe that. You could have been someone else. Until the fact that you are here, the fact that you have been able to grow to become like this, means that there is something expected of you in your life. Don't waste it. Don't waste it all. And you see, there is one thing I used to tell myself all the time. And I used to say to myself that, you see, there are many people whose destinies are tied to me. Ebiani say na make say. Sen kami ko chesi fine checks na. Ebian Kenya ni say na make say yo. Ebian ka samre me come my say open. So what I say. But then sanity, so it takes a ripple effect on other people. If you take your life serious, you never know. A Chinebu be Minister of Education, Oba be Minister of Agriculture, you are going to hold a bigger position. Oh, Rita. All right. I hope someone is getting motivated to do what they have been created to achieve. Look, all this noise happening around us now, and sisa on my own, and sisa dachi. What I say, sisa when you breaches girls, they say gay iba no catch us on your ntafwa. How would your life be? Ask yourself. Ask yourself right now. Gay ya uchesini obano so on your ntafwa. What would you do? Boy ya uchesini. Echina ukofe frona anyem triplets. What would you do? Ata papa. Ntama me. What would you do? Share, Charlie. These were things I me dream one na me yemashimi. Say me kofa girl no benyim na dey na me ye. What would I do? Because I don't have a job. My mom doesn't have money. My father doesn't have money. Nobody's coming to save. As a matter of fact, people are waiting for your downfall. Sure. Want to almost say fear for your mappel. Ask yourself. And now, even the serious thing is that there are many people walking around with several infections and things. Look, don't complicate your life. Don't complicate your life. If you can only see that future better, look. You can be a guide to someone else. And you see, one thing that saddens my heart is that the moment society is formed from the home. The reason why there are many problems in Ghana, in Africa, in the world, is that there are many broken homes. So I said, there are many broken homes. You don't want to add to the problem. Where is your father? Oh, me mama, me papa, me na mama, so on ye. Papa, me. Me mama, me na papa, so on ye. And I'm papa too, and I'm mommy, and no share your titi in the room. Look. Is that the life you want for yourself? African kwa umahame de ubewi ase or chance una ye koko no ko school uba ne ye ne behweye ko school ne behweye. Don't you want to change that pattern? And then na fese wa hwe ma omo benyini o say Kwame edan we odia ya edan we odia e then na fese nsa. Bible say a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Enti wo kra de e was a woman wa agenda yese. O pese wo si dan ma onana. Any afre good man onti nyina ye meeting criteria na yet. So what I say? African ko atem bia o ma me di ko school kwajo yire hu sua di o na behwe abusua aden. Youth wave. Mugro no, it's sad. It's really sad. It's really sad. Now society is so degenerated. It's so degenerated. Like, it's so bad. So can't you decide that you want to be one of the few people who would think straight? One of the few people who would do things different? And I make look, many people are living promiscuously. So if you decide to be serious a little bit, Footwear Arena, thank you. If you can be focused a little bit, you can make it. Look, there are many opportunities. Look, Arabi, okay, good. Listen, Parabebo, one of the things I talk about is avenues for extra income like digital marketing and those things. You see, material those things is not necessarily to make money. I want you to be aware of the current climate and opportunities to be making money. Because the old traditional system is now fading slowly. But se wono only passion, only ambitious to become something. Ye kasa ni omana onte. Look, me started my life no. One of the things that I focused on was to talk about digital marketing and things that you can do. But I realized that people were not listening. Me started digital marketing alone. I've been able to make £1,000 in less than a month. But me jai, and I focused now on advising people, helping people to reshape their thinking. So let me focus on doing my digital marketing. But I realized that there be people now almost taking in yet. Obo ho katene ni man kwan wo hu, young guy or katene ni naked women wo hu. Onhu vision bia. Enti eya na eya me ya. Sweet Debbie, you beka digital marketing who asem. And look, let me tell you, especially nyame adom ye hu the Western world and how, and let me tell you, the Western world shapes the other worlds. That is one fact you cannot deny. Okay? Shadio. say the way the world is going on, we a male child on, you need to sit well. I'm telling you, the way the world is going, if you are a male, Charlie, you need to sit well. Very soon, to get opportunities, I'm telling you. Sometimes, no, these are realities I'm telling you. If you're a male, you need to be exceptional at what you do to really seize opportunities. If only oba epe position, now oba ni equally qualified to say why you'd be more bano. And I'm not saying say a bad, but if you're a male, you can't waste your life. The world system is changing. That paternalistic system now, I favor men no as a sound. And you see, there is one principle in life. Whether you're a Christian, you are a non-believer, you are an atheist, whatever, it works. What you sow is what you reap. Even in computing, you say garbage in, garbage out. And yes, sir. Even in health, you say you are what you eat. It is all the same principle. You can't reap what you don't sow. Book Ben were reading in the whole of last year, Bisine. Ask yourself, apart from school, I woke up pamphlet, handout already. Have you read any personal development book? But you want to be great. Hey, come here, Ata. Ata Papa. So sometimes my heart goes out to the young guys. But some of them, now ube do now for fuechi, chale, utimi fama be 20 away a guy. Yarena adema. Don't buy into those ideas. Hey, don't buy into those ideas. Oh, Busa Dr. Collins, how he became a medical doctor. I was say, oh, power, I'm kind of say, you power, achieve, oh, power, like you have to neglect many things to stay focused. Now there are even people on my medicine come with if you're juma. What I say? Say the school system there and work you, bro. I'm more magazine very soon. I'm not about running economy no. So work go school to bro for Canada. Learn something. Try to update yourself. Try to put yourself in a place where you can literally be responsible for your life. Of course. It's Mr. So what life is enough of the jokes. Now when imre bino osroha and you be an ordinary to you. Some people have worked hard. If you want the easy way, that is where because will go where the to maybe I may have share. There are people who have worked, they have paid their dues. So what I say? So clarity of vision that they be drew how that thing that you so desire. BBL for no. Doctor, may I exposition on BBL what it? Na me aduma enyamra dako. Because I was here educating youth no. Influencers ne say a man for adwen. Influencers say a man for adwen. They say young guys no more no near to grow muscles. Muscles and so on no steroids now they look. It's all tied to these things. Sa energy ne fire now no. Who here teachings be say, who here and cheche be say now boy my head. Hey, youth way ready now. When you say Ghana and Kwana aphrodisiac drugs and also say medicinal drugs. Who here radio Fabewoso medical center Chichirebo power capsule. Just say debia edra or say ebeka cracker insuo kra no insuo kra ebeto nsuo a ono matimi no bi da ye. What kind of society is this? And so your FDA and so still obitimi tina baby keka nneoma bom no aba Jaisu Herbal Clinic Kwame Ata and Ata Papa bitters. Hey, they say many young people omunya kidney diseases, omunya infections, omunya liver problems, all because say we target gebi okochike na yen ho adwuma. When no be yes I dey na nipa like you achieved some, like the person will still be there. You are just destroying yourself. But make us say ebia wo shebre mu no we obia obabe okra na ebia corruption e wo Ghana yi ubetima boama abrase ebia chena bu be IGP hwe de wo ye ke bibia wontie because ye roster. Look, time I was no ho ye ko sizo a anase interco, like that was inter-school games. Charlie, boys need to make notebook or say me numbers. Like near budget almost so, and where are they? And where are they? Kissy Herbal bitters. Bro, usa that sentiment no na ewo ho ase Charlie e vibe e guy who ye G. Sound of for no mobojo so no. Owo a emu se na beto pampers abrel. Omo kokro omo mfra obi o. Omeka se abo atenase. So please, Mr. Remo, young ladies, asha we are polishing her in a hookup. Just because ladies are not ready to work. They are not ready to challenge themselves. But you see, the world we are in now, there are a lot of opportunities for women. Digital marketing, Mary Ebi, she has made over £20,000. Like she made over £20,000 in less than 4 months. Digital, and one thing I realized was that she was getting customers because Emma anything come on there. They sound very persuasive. Ejabema yejina ho ebe kasa saasi ene ma yedinde ase ya grebi. You see, so there are a lot of women doing things. Why are you chasing men? Now, but a young lady who worry down what I'll say. They say the married men no cry na ye focus. Like, will be a married man on a target. Come on. So please, Mr. Remo, decide that you want to challenge yourself, learn something, invest in yourself. There's one thing about investment. Meaning say Rita there, she's an expert in that area. Rita mama 1 minute na call area kakra. There's one thing about investment. Adia one fa siken remuno, you don't benefit. So I say, sometimes you need to do things that cost you so that you would even value it in the first place. So I say, yes, very soon, maybe digital marketing won't come, but and then I'm really moved to really get people to understand. So Charlie, nobody is coming to save you. The world is changing. Everything is changing. You need to stay updated and abreast with the right information. So I say, you need to stay updated and abreast with the right information. So I say, that is the reality. And what I can say is that, say, rise it to the top kakra. At least I would say by the grace of God, I have seen some few things. There are a lot of opportunities, but people are not qualified for it. There are a lot of opportunities up there. People are not qualified for it. Do you know, say you can stay in Ghana and do online courses and be qualified enough to get a job outside of Ghana? Yes. So what I say, at the Kudena Pesa we there are a lot of free courses there are a lot of things I will be to build your knowledge. Look, some of you maybe a bit mention coding, a bit mention, machine learning, and yet then you just need to dedicate time. But unimre because share TV shows near the day. Please don't follow these influencers. They can't even give you clear background of how they've gotten to where they are. please decide to learn something. What I say? Decide to say AI about open coding, bit me use AI, ukoja GPT learner, bit me there are a lot of resources. And you see, very soon, maybe live, I'll be sharing some of these resources, some of the website because Charlie, uko China cry they encra less than 7 years and they coding air building apps. Yes, Pascal, thank you. Free Code Camp. Go koho kosua bibi dedicate time or phone now with the TikTok no phone now bit me grandma's ka ba onim. So what I say, decide that you are going to challenge yourself, and you see, you will give yourself 1 month, at least 30 days. Say 30 days way me changing your mind. Number 2, ade we kra se meka. And then I can talk only about clarity of vision, but Mr. Some of you need to change your friends. Change your friends. Your friends in Negumaso, Osiwungumaso, Obwa, Okrabayasi. Find friends that will challenge you. Look for mentors. Look for people who will tell you nonsense that you are fooling. Change. There be open sugar coated words. Oh, you are good. You are doing fine. Hey. You need someone who will tell you to your face that stop fooling. Many lady be in common. She said something that was very profound. This lady lost both parents when she was in SHS. And at that time, men were chasing her up and down. That is a very critical situation and a critical point to be in life. Say, Uma no papa. Say, Uma no papa free so alive is a misro. Facha mwati menka yao. I'm just sharing a story. We losing the mama and papa. Was our SS. They say a crime benzo, and this was not during the free education time until so to school fees. A crime benzo no bit material school fees. Now, lady ne catch me no, I was moved because I say at that point, you know, onwuse wa ama nani ana ho a obesei into onwa carry ne ho e de call ne house mistress was say osre no opese obehye na ase onhwe no ontia no onye de obeye bia. How many people would even think like this? Many people will say oh ene me ye me masem ye busami ameka se na me maami ni ho no ban ekwan be so na me mfa so nedi. Na me papa ni hono kwan men so na me mfa so nedi. And that has been the excuse of many people. Wanum tramo sa ojina ho ano oda. O kan story a me ma me me papa ni ho nti menya den. That shouldn't stop you. No matter what you have been through, no matter the pain, Charlie, nobody is coming to save you. Lady ne kan you know. Pacho minim redo, sweet Debbie. How many young people would say me nisha so for my brabo mintino me pesa me de me ho ko ekose obinsa. I want to take myself to someone to guide and direct me. How many people think like that? Until lady ne ho ko share house mistress nensa. You see, victim mentality is a loser mentality. What I say? In psychology, there is something around drawing from your pain to feed your success. If you draw from your pain to feed your failure, it is a failure mentality. You need to have a warrior mentality. Whatever pain you have been through, use it as a means to succeed. Yes. Me personally, me call level 100, me nya broken heart. Na me say, broken heart me the best ya there. I learned like I was crazy. That's just by the way. Draw from your pain to go on the path of success. You see, there is this book, I've forgotten the name, but then this was someone who was able to survive Holocaust and was say, between action and reaction, there is something in the middle. For example, me bo asum se ade na abaye onso beto nsa, right? And I say me ka say hey utinye e den na onso beka onso utinye. Or say between action and reaction. So me boss now so to say you are reacting to what I did. I have control over you. And that is what politicians do to Ghanaians. You see, politicians normally say you ko hit area ha e be trigger man for. Into for example, Obake na Ghana 4-2 months. They know the button to press. Don't be like that. You need to have emotional intelligence. And you know, between action and reaction, there is a middle ground which is called choice. The first one Obama doesn't mean I have the right to choose how to respond. And most of the time now, life will poke you. Life will keep poking you. But if you respond to life just by poking back, you are not smart. Choose how you want to react. If life pokes you, tell yourself, I'll react differently. Enti ebia o relationship mu, when you say relationship, you fa nko ba bia say your life. Catch on say me jai boy no, me jai boy na ebe hye me mesu, usu a ka se me de sun we be motivation and fight to succeed. Hey, the youth way wish I hop out. But look, between action and reaction, there is a choice. There is the middle ground for you to choose how you want to react. Until lady asma making, ne ma me ne papa from one ka se ma me ne papa from there me de be hye, and I me de be me masem. Oh, thank you so much, Abigail. Yes, Man's Search for Meaning. Beautiful. That's the book. It was written by a Jewish man. Choose how you want to react. Ebiani book yasma yeken. Onsa Abigail akochiaba. Ye mubu okra yenti book ni dinda. Mr. Read the book oh. Yo, and your pamphlet no assignment book. I'm talking about developmental books. Books a bit challenge with thinking pattern. Assessing behavior. Yo. Very soon, some of my life meet my for book be near review, near discussing moral lessons. Hopefully. Ebe boyen. That be me wagana me share minister. Hey, minister say, oh, me ba life some review. Now kasi me ko ja me girl, me jai girl na boa me ama bedru how. What I say? Yes. So this lady took herself to someone to control her. So what I say? And a lady ni wie ye owe no say house mistress no mo no so far the ho de call ma me foforo ho say ma me no be serve ma me no but o sre ma me no hwe ni school. And a lady na sa or they call university e wie ye obi anane ma me ne papa fi mo bu obeka say ye owiemfo e de na meye wo de sa ma me wo ho wo de sa wo fa he me ni obi a kamenko Jerry a kamenko. No, she chose to react different. I'm sharing this for you to understand. Say, look, I dare now come no be the essence wo. Kenata say that o si obi nyawaye, obi de kra so say wo de. So stop complaining and stop behaving like who de we say there. Obu o kra home kro ntimi home, ye the machine na esi de so no ntimi home. Sao de unya na de kochisi oba. Obi de untimi mpo nko no aba. Inti wo all these things are, why are you limiting yourself? Steve Wonder, or you're blind, but or you're worldly known. How can a blind man be a world-known musician globally? When you know now keyboard crowd baby I see what me I make nimbo. But I'm saying this, that you have no excuse. Blame game ne di obi anim yo. C sharp. Kill flat and please. Sometimes you need to hear some of these things and say hununa does some. So I say na TikTok we anyway ko na we anyway ko now follow story no we have to be one e we na no e. It doesn't change anything. Oh, sir. Yo, me dance. That mean All right, good night, Rita. Good night. And I mentioned that. But yeah, maybe by 11. It's 11 here in the UK. I think it's Ghana about 10. Until by 12 o'clock now. Maybe I see. But you know, please, as I'm saying, I'm begging in the name of God. Be ambitious. Change your friends. Change your friends. In some Bibrama Kenyina, so now for funny your ma. Hey, she see nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. Change your friends. Change your networks. So now for you kwasiafo una oye inspector umu. So who alive is so now you want mentorship, you need support with something around that. Get in touch with me. I'm trying to build a team of brilliant and ambitious people who have so much experience, who can also provide some support. There is nothing money about it. There is nothing money about it. There is nothing money about it. But please, you need to be serious with your life first. Don't send me a message, but you yourself, you are not willing to pay the price. Please, don't send me any message if you are not serious about your life. You must be willing to be instructed. You must be willing to be given targets. Mama, targets. You are supposed to achieve this. You are supposed to read this book. You are supposed to meet me to discuss it. Oh my God, a book no na me be a meal. Me mpesa uncle no. I want people who are serious, who are ambitious. That is why my name is Mentor Che. And I believe that many young people lack mentorship. What I say, hey, imagine this. The reason why a society problem in our is because it is as a result of the ripple effect of failed society upon failed society and upon failed society. And Amayadru say, into say shifting narrative now, the more societies begin to fail, the more things will get worse. Sweet Debbie, text me your number. Why? You are going to be my personal secretary elect. Okay, I'll have a meeting specially with you to discuss the plans. We need to help people. I think the best I can do is to really help people navigate to get their lives right. I'm a product of mentorship. I can tell you for a fact, I have several mentors in my life. People who feed me with support at every point in time. Maybe you can apply for a Juma personal statement and I say reference a member public mamuenya. But because you have nobody, what the Kwame Atane Kwame Yao, I your reference into your show where Juma guys won't qualify. You don't even have anyone. Hey, Edrusa, Youth Wave. My secretary Sikofio. Anyway, so please, it is something that is really upon my heart to help many young people navigate these challenging times. Now me make a statement be, say, the reason why society is failing is because there's been a ripple effect upon ripple effect. Okay? Say who decide say meba ti de make no ti na supem. If you decide that you are going to take responsibility of your life and fight so hard to build yourself and build your career, and decide that you are not going to give birth without getting married, like you are going to get married before giving birth, do you know what that helps? You are able to raise a child that sees their mother and father show love to each other. Sakra no onyine oni a lot of pain so or a good heart to show love to society. Sakra na obehwe no enam say one wo yere edu munaye si for mahwa akra ntino. She understands love and that child can give love back to other people. The reason why people are so bad and people don't care is because it's just a ripple effect. Make us say ne maame hwehwe ne papa nso up and down. Ne maame sesa ne papa ase. Na ne papa nso toto ne nsa. Inti sa akora no Jet Li ni Jack Chan and wahu no real life o. Inti onim anything empathy. Inti sa anti akora no so ba. Imagine say young lady will come online and say me de bema de one bubomia me finish all do me. Look, that is trauma na ekasa no. Trauma. Na sa nipa no 3,000 followers and 300,000 followers or your influencer ntino na many young people so afa. No musu didi so. Meanwhile, there are silent voices of good people online. And sometimes, let me tell you, when you are succeeding in life, there's a high tendency to focus on your success and never look back. Intina, there are a lot of people omokasa on TikTok sometimes no the things they are saying on fat, but they have the audience because the good people, they are too busy enjoying their success. They don't even want noise. So what I say, so you really find people they genuinely want to support people. No. I just say be any business. Yes, that's fine. But really would you find people sitting for hours to talk and advise and provide support? Debbie. No. The person is too busy enjoying their success. Sweet Debbie, please, can you go through the chat and note all the people who wants to be part of the mentorship program? Now, what save their handle? When I get in touch with you, you would give me the list. Now, I would send them a form to fill, and then we take it from there. But please, if you are not serious, don't say you want to be a part. Please. When you're ready, still keep coming on my live and try to get yourself together. Because if you are told that you are focusing on something, no one to many, so you'll be evicted. Because what I say, it's a relationship. I say, focus on your vision. Now, like we mean business here. Like we mean business. No joke. So I say, no joke. Because ya jijing moso sana baby Edru. Ya jijing moso sana. Oh, me baby look, we have been entertaining us for too long. You need someone who will tell you to your face, say, Masa, Jimmy Jide, oh, you know. Edobeko say mu, ebese odache, emboao. There are many young people working with infections and they can't even sleep at night just because of disobedience. But I say, so if you are interested in the mentorship program, this, as I said, there is no money involved. The day you hear money, run away. There is no money involved, but you must be serious. And the mentorship program doesn't necessarily mean say maybe for 24/7. Sorry, where did he? It's not about that. Based on your response to the questions, you'll be given things you must do. I will send you a PDF book to read. I would give you tasks to do if you want to do business. I would try to provide you with the necessary support. Or that area bit mabuawa. I would invite that person to provide you with that support. The day we realize you are not serious, where we are school, and I see you ready. Yeah, and Ponsa, everyone needs that brutally honest friend. Honestly, I'm a very busy person. Look, I don't come on live often. I'm very busy. So what I say, but I still feel this strong urgency to really help people. Me personally, every Thursday, may I sorry online. Dexterity Church, that's the church I pastor, I lead, I do online services and things. It is sometimes to even prepare for the service, you've got family and things, but I still feel that strong urgency say there are many people, they lack direction. And sometimes no, I can relate because me and papa ma unko school. Time I go choose course or invest in. Me anti man boy me. Nkofu be bro ho ma ye courses are. And komunya obia owonim debi obeka chomo say please don't choose this course, choose that course. If someone could sit with you to discuss your future, maybe, just maybe, things would have not gone sour. What I say? But she say, Debbie America, she say, Papa, for now, come back, boy, no. I'm not chasing young girls, no. And she say, one able to be from paying for name, Kayumo. Mammy, for no, say, I'm pay young guys with 6 packs. So it's like society has turned upside down. And there are many young people are genuinely in common, you'll be or be advice or ma. Kebebwa, but they lack it. As I said, this relationship, there is no money involved. As it were, say, memeka se betueska, and I say, obeba se mema uska. It has nothing to do with it. And it is a odo udi told us this to receive money there, Mr. I have nothing to give you. But what I have is guidance, advice to help you navigate your life, to redefine yourself, to rediscover yourself, and change your own life for yourself. And I'm not saying say go and help another person. That is the principle. Don't come and help me. But never feel that my boy I don't like that. My boy, go and also help somebody, because there are young people and by that approach, we will be changing society in kakra. Ghana yeden Ghana say enyeshe, but we can also do our quota. So I say, I remember there are many people I've been able to support and mentor. There's a guy, he's doing his PhD now. Oh, we in the national service, he was confused. Oba no Kasa say, oh, my scholarship no pay. I'm saying no problem. Send me your statement. Let me have a look. Me share the guidance. Me advice. That was it. He applied. He got a scholarship. He went to Leicester to do his masters. He's now in Ireland doing his PhD. So I say, that is that kind of support I'm talking about. And my friend say, oh, my girlfriend say when my friend be able to many day and on my juma. What I say, near juma, here girl. Until you girl, you have already filled the course. You be ready. Yes, please send Sweet Debbie a message if you are interested in a mentorship, and also send me a message if probably whatever it is. Please get in touch with us. Why? We would be willing to provide you. Yeah, Charlie. Let me tell you, girl, now when you're brain of one, I say boy now just say we free a brabo. Look, who do you win? God forbid, nobody's dying. But think about it. This sister years and so worry. That should tell you something. So I said that should tell you something. You see, and again, it is tied to our understanding of how we are created as humans. We have love for a reason. We have affection for a reason. So I say, many young people now walk around 20 years and so nobody counting in MVM. You are destroying yourself, because you see, it is needed for your family. So warrior, you can give that affection to your wife or your husband, and also give that affection to your children. Most of you don't know that if you keep sleeping with people, you can't even have affection for your own children, because your emotions are all over. Momo here deliverance into any quite see a day or you gumo so see a demo no or you mu near you mapie. Oh Jesus. Yeah. And you see, Adiaba Akwa personally helped me was that I understood the consequences of certain actions. And I believe that many people don't understand the consequences of certain actions. So what I say, so for example, Uko relationship man, what are the demands? What are the likely events? What are the likely turnouts? Because Busa say obi owo relationship mubia, you can relate that the moment you're in a relationship, you only see the beautiful side. You see the love, the affection, so touching, so sweet. And no just temporary. The real issues are underneath. The moment the hour ends, that is when they start emerging. So what I say, yes. And One year be obeshada mo ati ase. These are some of the consequences for this path. So, and unfortunately, many parents don't really sit with their children to discuss certain things. So I say, be no, papa no what na say, Charlie, me who say girl be frefro. What's up? Charlie bomi de home. No. Hey, akwasi, why no? And Freddie be bye. Wait. So again, that support to really navigate, especially we are adolescents now mature into poverty and all those stages now, it becomes very, very difficult. So I say, most of the time now, Uber rely on an influencer. You can never tell me say you don't have somebody online now who feeling some impact in a way. There is always somebody who influences you. But what I say, I can tell you, you are bigger than you can imagine. If you can harness the potentials you have, the things you can do, you'll be shocked. I'm telling you. But sometimes we don't have the mentorship, we don't have the right support until we really struggle. So as I said, that is what we are really trying to deal with. And hopefully mentorship session, yet maybe I will create a group for you and your WhatsApp. On an app obi who obi said a for data protection and for privacy sake. Until you obi chat to ni pano. Menkwana menim crofo mo manase ministry there be whatever. Then if you have pressing questions, I'll bet man post it because your identity is hidden. Now maybe there will be some TikTok live. It will be exclusive for people who are part of the mentorship. Then we'll have some discussions. So I say I will have some Zoom meetings about opportunities you can look at. So you're interested in scholarship, I may have a session on scholarship and you can ask questions and just like I'll try to find out the areas I'll feel say maybe I'll pass or say minister knowledge now. I would find someone or some knowledge, now a lecture on that. Then we would create a repository. Make us a repository lessons now you store videos no. Ne amount access enti ada o real fi bi no akwa video na kai ho. Do you understand? So the goal is to help you to really navigate. Look, Saturday way. Oh, Brad Freeze, Brad Freeze is not around. Saturday way unsaka na se wa anya successful. You don't have anybody to blame. You don't have anybody to blame. But what I say, yes. And so we hear personal statement support of writing and things. We hear recommendation letter and things. We'll be able to find people who are on support with that. Like new marketing, sometimes the people lack. Imagine so a recommendation letter from a lecturer catcher and say BTS Kana BBC. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So I say, yeah. And so hopefully no personal statement from doctors in UK in areas and boost your CV to at least a leverage for you to be able to enter certain quarters and make some difference for yourself. But it will come with rules. It will come with rules. Yes, it will come with rules. It will come with rules. When you're serious, you'll be evicted. We are as a mentor, you be eviction. On your money, you be ready. Because we want people who are serious with their lives. Honestly, it's no joke. What I say, it's about time we mobilize our young people to empower them to make a difference. The last time I was saying on my life, say, Adebakwa Misru Pani say me feel say very soon and here ya Ghana afu front e beba before my nediso. Because young people no, but that's a sweet Debbie. Knowledge to the max season 1. Into mantra no knowledge to the max. Say I'm on for shake it to the max. Yeah, then they knowledge to the max. And tinefin bi any as I said, I feel say very soon young people you need business ideas. Say China for say more. Check it. Most of the big businesses they're owned by foreigners. Where are the entrepreneurs? Where are the Ghanaians? Obu wa nyame about to be a great entrepreneur, but unya starter, unya spark, unya the right information. And you feel that you're a loser. Oh, school course no suyenko, but ultimate tons, ultimate ton, your mouth, ultimate cry ton pano, like ultimate count sabom ye bibi na ton. Look, unin a part of the skills and the gift I be an media show, but unim. So I say, so hopefully, the mentorship session should be able to help you to rediscover yourself in a way and pursue certain courses. So I say, yes. And hopefully, Nyambeya Adom, ama yemumu bebre, mo amobeba broche mbeba, mo ambo Ghana so ambetima start mo businesses, so ambetima start it. So I say, ti, eja yeba Ghana ne pebe nkwedia, ni aba restaurant, ni abedibi. What I say, na nyame ehira obia na obia nya ne so ne de. What I say, please, are there any questions? I want you to post your questions in the comment section and I'll address them. I'll be leaving exactly in 23 minutes. Okay, so ask your questions. Yes, Abby, you can ask your question. And I'm about life. No, I'm so tired. I've been spending time on the screen at work. And obviously yesterday it took a while to be buying my bread, but I said, you know what, let me just come. And it's good that people find it useful. Some of the things that we have been talking about. Knowledge to the max now. And as we will say, Abigail, you can ask your question. Please, if you have any question, post it in the comment section. Yes, in a situation where the vision frustrates you, what should you do? Now, we need to understand what frustration means here. There are some visions that you have, they can keep you restless, and that is good because you don't have to be that comfortable. But then if the frustration means that it confuses you more, you need to maybe sit back again and ask yourself, is this my vision or a borrowed vision? So Anna, I made a mention that you need to understand what you define by success. Some of us, we are motivated by the results of other people. Let me tell you, se pure water it is not about what you do. It is about the blessings upon you. Don't push yourself to do things just because other people are getting results. Never do that. So I say, I would be interested to know what you mean by the frustration. Is it that you are frustrated because you are restless and there's this passion inside of you so much that you can't even think about anything? It's just the vision. That is good. We just need to manage things. So for example, you need to calm yourself down, go through the process I mentioned, write the vision down, break it down into achievable steps and try to work towards it. And tell yourself that Rome was not built in a day. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. You can't become a professor overnight. It will have a starting point. I hope, sir, you are finding it useful, the youth wave. Yes. Abigail, you said, are there any things to test if my vision is really clear? What do you mean by that? Are you talking about spiritual vision or physical vision, like an ambition? If it is an ambition or an idea or, a vision, a business idea or a career path or something, then what you need to do is that ask yourself, why am I choosing or why am I going after this in the first place? One of the things you need to understand is that you can deceive yourself. Many people don't realize that they can even deceive themselves. So ask yourself, why am I going after this particular vision or idea? Be very sincere with yourself. Is it because of money? If it is because of money, write it down. If it is to please your parents, just write it. You need to go to the root cause. For example, for example, because me girl be me person who say me shampaboa ne boy den, but me convince me who say, oh, me dem me padi efe, I'm deceiving myself. So go to the root of it. Okay? The root of it. Why do I want to become a doctor? Why do I want to go into entrepreneurship? Write the reasons down. Reasons is it helpful for me? If you're able to tell that the visions are helpful for you, that is good. Then you need to find resources. Find information about that particular part. And maybe a person or doctor, and also person be a nurse. Find out how to become and to do your research. And you want to also me course what I say a business be our person. Okay, what are the areas in that area? What are the books I need to read? What are additional information I need to know about it? Because if you are having a vision without knowledge, it is like an empty barrel. You can be making noise, but there's no weight. You need to fill that barrel with knowledge. So what I say, the moment you fill that barrel with knowledge, that is when you can act strategically. Every step you take is well informed. Yes, vision without knowledge is a disaster. I love that. The youth wave. I've been patriotic as here. I was able to go to the root. Let me tell you about myself. Personally, I loved public health. It had nothing to do with money. It had nothing to do with to please it. It's just something I love. The fact that I'm able to do research. Now research now inform me. Are there able promote positive health in a population? I just love it. And it has been my passion. So what I say, it's me attachment. No money cram and home. Like it's something that makes me feel fulfilled. So what I say, and maybe at some point in my life, more you maybe I am a painting. So painting in your majuma on ame de survival. And me painted and I'm a boss. I can say, oh, Charlie, you are too good. It's a damn bedroom cannot free me. That doesn't mean say me a painter. Charlie, me a painting need to survive. And it's a me convince me say, oh, me boss, my fans pound. Maybe I met my painting contractor. My say my brabo. Metro baby will painting. No man who say it is not fulfilling for me. Do you get what I mean? But then the vision of being a public health, all right, great man, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. And baby, me personally, is public health. Even though Senegal, I couldn't get access to it, I was determined to do it regardless of the geographical boundaries. What I say. So these are things that you need to look at. So what I say. So ask yourself why. Why we are. Get knowledge, information about it, and then again visualize it. The same things I talked about. So what I say. After that, you break it into achievable, manageable standards. Now, if you was start executing one after the other, and in the process of execution, now when you be better, what I say. How said there be a imagine one starting business or first salary buyer or the aquacoto and paboa on say wedding kwasa semoho until so because of the Jimino. Yen phantom paboa ye the toho. So gradually you would get the person who can really help and the akuto pizza. Say pizza carry another bonye day, kakran kakrasa. Udrum pempensu will be a bit more independent and any panet jaw or setwaso. But what I say, so I hope that makes sense. Yeah, are there any other questions? Abby, I hope you found it helpful. Beautiful, beautiful. One thing I was say obiha over life is to tell us and say if you want to be successful, you should be ready to be ashamed. Generation where you pay say you best like you don't want to be in a compromising position where people are laughing at you. We are sound you can never be rich, you can never be successful. Say Kelewele na abeka koton university. Imagine so uja university ton Kelewele, how would you feel? So unam hostel by hostel airton product how would you feel? A man best one who because gay I say and a boy GB. So what's our mentality in there? You are not ready to be successful. In school, a mentorship, no one requirement they say you should be ready, should be shameless. You should be ready to be ashamed. Men for going as shameless, you should be ready to be shamed. Until I when you're ready. Look, we university, so now me painting. Yeah. Shine na my ibida. Class 6, me amat it's after diabo boy yesu shine. Me bana me bowa. Me mama ton banche, wo JSS, me na for me before me go Saturday classes. Na ma so abanche ni bi na kwa chi. Ansan mako. You should be shameless. It crafts something inside of you. And kofo be bro mo arrogant and proud no. It's because they've never been shamed. You don't want to be that because arrogant and proud that you come down easily. What I say, and there are things that you should understand. Say they shape us to become successful. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful, Bernie. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yo, Uncle Fona, me a top girl, oh, me say, sound Fona, me so, me mentor. So, yes, Uncle Fona, me a top guy, oh, Charlie, me a fanboy, no, they pay, Mr. I can't. I'm not qualified enough for that. I want people who are ready to go through shame, who are ready to be told you are fooling, change. And this idea, Charlie, mentors, the bro, we are so you can get more anyway. But yeah, you should be ready to go through shame. Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah. Arabi, I've sold face Gary and pocket perfume. Yeah. Obiti bank. The benefit yani AC abono. Shini kutreyem. Same nani eka. It's Mr. So successful they actually there are requirements and you need to be in them to see success. Any other question before we wrap up? So this means that the fact that you are good at something does not mean that is what you stand for. Yes. Do you know one of the people who fail mostly in life are people who can do so many things. People who are multi-talented. Because sometimes they get confused. By the time we make a decision, we are not meant to be 40 years. Their youthful exuberance and everything is gone. And say, uyo be our more ambitions are. Tanasenebusa say Jack. Untime nyenye na. Bema beyebu ame yenye na. Baako na metimi akase me ye. I will be faithful to doing it. Just ask yourself that question. Maybe the answer may take days or even a month. Allow yourself and choose. Who choose you? Tell yourself there is no going back. That should be your mantra. There is no going back. Say, oh yeah. Sometimes no, you may have to switch to support yourself at some point. That is fine. But tell yourself, say, adewe amafe enona meye. So what I say, yeah, make a decision. Make a decision, and gradually, nature would find its course. God will do His own thing to make sure that you get to the right destination. But choose one. You can't do everything. So what I say, you can't do everything. You can't do everything. And yes, the youth wave, if that's your problem, you need to set up. Write the things that you are good at and you want to do and ask yourself, which one of them can I do? Say baby, you may be able to do all of them. For example, a business is a business back start up another business. Businessmen can have multiple businesses, but you can't start like that. It's then also choose baby best start here free. Then along the line you can add on. What I say, Yes. So there you need to start from one place, and along the line, when God permits, you can do other things. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Beautiful. Any other question? I've got 9 minutes. Okay, 9 minutes. So please, if you've got question, ask before I go. And also, if you're interested in a mentorship, get in touch with me or Sweet Debbie, any of us, and I would contact you via WhatsApp or something and send you the form to fill. The form is just going to take a stock of your details, what you want to do. It would ask you critical questions to know the area you want to navigate, so that we can know how to support you. Okay. As I said, there's no money involved. There is no money. The day you hear money run, there's no money. But then, a lot is required of you. Any other question, guys, before we wrap up? If you've got any question, you can ask. Yes. So I hope you found this really helpful. Let me know in the comment section. I hope you found this really helpful. You know, I always say that if you have a friend and you think your friend needs guidance, invite them to some of our life. Okay. I'm very busy, but I always try to, make time to come up. So yeah, we'll see you for tomorrow. But then I would organize some sessions on Zoom, because Zoom, we can meet face to face. You can ask questions face to face and we get to know each other more and all that. But yeah, if you have a friend, please recommend our page to them. Dr. Mentorche, just on TikTok. Let them get in touch. We can also add them to the list. Yeah, the Youth Wave. I would love to have specific meeting days for that. Okay. But what I can say is that I do have church services on Dexterity Church. So if you don't know Dexterity Church, it's one of the pages I follow. That's the church I pastor. So I meet on Thursdays and Sundays. So those days are very certain. But for Mentorche, I come in quite in and out. I've not gotten a specific day that I come. But obviously, if you followed me, if I come live, you'll see the notification. And probably when I create the WhatsApp community, I would share it there so that you can also share to other people. Okay. Mentorship is important. There is nobody who has succeeded in this life without mentorship. You would need someone to help you. So that's I say. Yes. So God bless you all so much. And you see, it is a desire of my heart to see each one of you become whatever God has created you to be. So that's I say. Many people are occupying certain positions of other people because the people who were destined to be there didn't prepare themselves to be there. So I believe, at least the little contribution I'll be able to do can help you to become what God has created you to be. And you can also have an enjoyable life. Why? God bless you all. And if you have any follow-up question, you can send me a message. I would respond. I've been very busy today, so I've not been checking my messages, but yeah, I'll try to do for tomorrow. Have a lovely evening, and I hope you found this really useful. Okay. All right.
I remember when you came and saved me. I'm glad you leave. Can we turn up? Can we turn up? Can we turn up? Can we turn up? Hey. He really, really moves up. That's what it says. I know he loves me. I know he cares. Whenever I call, he always is right there. In times of trouble, he is my help. Yeah, I know no fear. I know he'll be right there. Hey, he really does what he says he will do. My God really moves. Oh, hey, why would